3, 2.
We're going. All right, welcome. We're going. If you're watching, I'm wearing my jacket because I'm freezing. This camera, it's cold. Even though it's warm out, it's getting cold in the studio because we're underneath the ground. Does that make sense? Like the ground freezes before the air does. I don't know if that makes sense, but if you look at the wall dead ahead of me, on the other side of that wall, it's just soil, and that soil is starting to freeze overnight, and then it starts to get. Anyways, I'm cold, but how is everyone doing? Awesome. Jeff, how are you? I'm Justin. We're here in the studio. Sorry I interrupted you, Jeff. How are you?
Doing good.
You're good?
Yeah.
Life's good? You
Life's
look tired.
good. Yeah, it's been a long couple of weeks. We're
Yeah.
hanging in there, though.
Here's your mom say, oh, Jeff, you look tired. Let me cook you some soup, all that type of stuff.
Yeah, that's semi-accurate.
Don't worry, I'm going through the same thing. Every time my mom sees me, you lost weight. Why aren't you eating?
Yeah, that's
you
a big
look
one.
tired. What's going on?
Yeah.
It's all right though. It's all love. It's all part of the 1, 2, 3 guaranteed process of getting high button to the top of the mountaintop, I guess. But I'm having a great time. I know you are. I know everyone that's working for us is having fun. It's an interesting company that we're working for here that we like to call High Button Sports. Very let me just say this. I've learned more in the past 2 years of my life than I did. How many years would I have been in school? So primary to 6. So that's 6. No, that's 7.
12. How many years of
So
university? 1. So 13 years of school? 14?
12, 13. Yeah, university wasn't really a unit, We all know that. If I probably went to university for like 6 years, but like it probably all counted together as like maybe 3 months.
Yeah.
It's like, but out of all those years, 12 years and 3 months, I've learned more in the past. Not even 2 years, probably just a year here. Probably more just about people than business than anything. We have interns coming and handing in resumes, and I hate to break it to you, but I'm not looking at the resume. You don't want to sound like a dick, and I'm like, oh, I know I can read a person by just talking to them. You don't want to sound like that, but you just have to have a conversation with someone, and you can understand where their demeanor is, what they want to do in life. Luke from CPA, intern. One key to him, I knew that he'd be good with us. He could have a conversation with me. How old are you in grade 11? 14, 15?
16?
16?
17?
No.
Maybe? Yeah, you're getting your license
Yeah.
at the start of grade 11, I think. End of grade 10, start of grade 11.
I could barely have a conversation with an adult at that age. So when he came in smiling, shook my hand, had a conversation, wasn't shy, I was like, oh, okay, we got something. It's like we're going fishing, and I just pulled up a big old salmon. Like he's just okay, all right. He's a good kid. And then we go to the Jordan Boy tournament, and he's just rocking out.
Oh yeah.
I remember one time I was trying to edit something on the laptop, I was trying to like screenshot something, and the stream ended, and he needed to put a new stream key in, and he looked at me. First day on the job, he goes, hey man, I need the laptop. I got to put the new stream key in. First day.
Yeah.
Just boots me off my own computer, and I loved it.
I was about to say, you love that.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. It's very similar to like when Mark started here. Mark wanted to work here, and I was like, look man, I don't have a budget for you, but if you want to work here and get paid very minimal, sure, go for it. And he goes, all right, sounds good, I'll be back. And I'm like, all right, I don't know what that means, he'll be back, but sounds good. But then he comes back with that government grant, and now he's working for us because he found his own way. You, for example, you came here, a couple streams, yada yada.
Do you even remember my story here or no?
No.
No, I know what to say.
I remember you got kicked out of Toronto because they were making you wear a mask or something.
Yeah.
Isn't that true?
Yeah, it's along the lines. Needed an internship for 4th year.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Same thing as Luke, internship.
Yeah.
And you came in, and we were okay, but you just kind of carved out your own thing. You're like, okay, if I need to stick around High Button Sports, I'm going to have to make Justin want me to stay. Or he's, what is it called? You want to make yourself a necessity? Or make yourself
essential. Make yourself essential.
Make yourself, no, is that
Yeah.
it? Make yourself essential.
Well, that's how I would put it, Make yourself irreplaceable.
Yeah, I like that one.
Irreplaceable.
Make yourself irreplaceable.
Yeah.
You have to make yourself irreplaceable, and these guys are coming in and they're understanding that they're making themselves irreplaceable.
Mm.
And it's kind of cool to see. It's a really nice feeling when I talk to some of these interns and I talk to them about their other students or their other classmates and what they're doing and their jobs and what they're doing. And I'm not shitting on any other companies and any other internships and whatever they're doing, but I just know my experience with my internship, and it wasn't real world type stuff. It was go in, sit there, wear a shirt and tie, smile, and go home at 5 o'clock. And it just did nothing for me. It gave me absolutely nothing. And I take pride in when interns come to work here and throwing them into the fire. We don't let them burn. I'll throw you into the fire, but I'm not going to let you burn. And that's the best place to learn, is when you're in the middle of it. I'll teach you. I'll show you how to do some things. I'll teach you the ropes, but it's sink or swim here. And that's something at a young age I wasn't taught. So I take great. Actually, I got asked the other day to go yesterday, Jack. I'm gonna go talk to a high school entrepreneurship class.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited about it.
Yeah,
really excited. Oddly enough, the only class I ever failed in high school was entrepreneurship.
Come on.
I swear to you. I swear to you. Because you go in there and they read off the curriculum.
The curriculum.
Curriculum.
Yeah.
And you're sitting there and you're going, okay, this is gonna be a breeze. Entrepreneurship.
Yeah,
awesome.
Bird course is what you were thinking.
It was
yeah.
like, entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
This is the curriculum for the entrepreneurship class. All right, easy.
Yeah.
So you go in there and you dick around, and then next thing you know, 6 months go by, you haven't done anything, and you get a big old fat F in there, and it's just funny how full circle it comes to this. And now I'm going to speak at a class.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. I don't know. I don't know. This world is. Man, this world's crazy.
I had a full circle moment with Luke. I was I went to CPA, the exact same building he was in, and I did my internship with a media company here.
You were in the new building?
Yeah, I was in the new building in grade 11 when I was doing my co-op, and then I did my internship with a media company here. It was the only option, and now 7 years later, I'm signing off on his hours. So
were you like a little like, I got to go to High Button, or was it like, what were you like excited to come here, or was it just like, whatever?
I'm talking about my high school internship, which was with Eastlink, but my university one, no, I was excited for. I was excited to come here. Yeah,
yeah.
I was like, I knew I wanted to. I was just curious about it all. And when I came into that dark basement, I think the one video I saw was the George LaRock podcast.
That was in my mom's basement.
Was it? Okay. But with the curtains or whatever, the dark background on the podcast. And
I don't know, maybe it was.
I think it was down. I'm pretty sure.
George LaRock or Eddie?
I think it was George.
You had George.
George
LaRock, I'm pretty sure, was at my mom's place. Jules, Eddie LaRock was here.
Okay, well, like I said, nailed it. But yeah, anyway, that was what I saw, and turned it into something. But yeah, it was definitely a full circle moment there, signing off on his hours last weekend. 7 years later, doing the same thing I was doing.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind it. How is that new school there, CPA?
Oh, I've heard it's a bit of a gong show because they built the new one right next to it. They just opened up the new one for this year. And my facts might be a little off, but because CPA is right next to this new West Bedford, so they're busing the kids there at lunch, the grade 11s. So it's basically like one school split into two. It's a bit of a gong show, yeah.
I'll tell you a funny story about that school. My the first day it opened, I was there. I was landscaping that summer, so I was there the day before it opened, and I was a ride-on mower. Individual, and I love that job. You just sit on a mower. We used to do like Dartmouth Crossing, and you do that in a day. I don't even know if podcasts were around back then, but I just listen to music all day on my headphones, ride around on the ride-on mower. It was great. Anyway, so it's the first day of CPA, but it's the next. So I'm there the day before, but it's heavy rain. A ride-on mower. You shouldn't be on a lawn. Ever.
No. Yeah.
It's wet, and you're gonna get stuck because those ride-on mowers are heavy. So me and my buddy, who are it wasn't my buddy, he's just the guy who I was paired up with, and we ended up just building the relationship over the summer. He's a really good guy. I forget his name now, but good cat. And we get to CPA, or we get to the grounds, and we're like, all right, guys, Justin and Justin's friend, you guys, your job today, CPA, opening day's tomorrow. Let's make it look good. and it starts to rain a bit, but you're like, it's not raining that much. We could definitely get the ride-on mower to still get it to cut. And by the time we drive from the grounds of like where the landscape crew was to CPA, the rain had picked up tremendously. So me and him are sitting there in the truck, and I remember like a week before, we kind of got reamed out a little bit for making wrong decisions and calling in when we didn't have to. We had to make like gut decisions. Like we got it. I remember they gave us like a phone for the company, and we're like, if you ever need anything, whatever, just call us, and we can try to help you make a decision on certain things like this, like the CPA day. And me and him just looked at each other, and we're like, well, let's be our own men today. Let's make our own decision. Like, do we want to mow this or not? And I don't know who made the decision, but we ended up mowing it, which was obviously a huge mistake.
Yeah.
So we get there, and we're like, let's just put the chopper on high, so we won't cut the grass real low. We'll just give it a nice clean little 1-inch chop at the top. So we do it. We're doing it, and it's not the best. It's raining. I wouldn't say it's muddy, but you can see the tire marks.
I was about to say
sure.
the
tire marks are
mud.
for sure there. And as we get closer and closer to the school, the rain, because you start furthest away, then you work your way to the school. And as we're mowing, it's still raining. So I remember by the time we actually got to the front of the school, there's mud, and then we have to drive on the sidewalk to get to the other patch of grass, and now there's mud all over the sidewalk. So anyways, us idiots, we leave there thinking, all right, we killed that. Like, that's pretty good. It's not our best work, but it's raining, and we did the best job possible. So we go to the next suburb in Bedford to start mowing lawns. An hour later, get a call from the boss. You mother.
Really?
Oh, because that's a huge contract, man.
Yeah.
CPA, like, like probably, probably a year contract. All right, look, you can mow our lawn for the next year. Just don't screw up. The first day opening, the next day the school's opening, we completely ruined the lawn, all the grass, just terrible.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's anyone listening that like went to that school the first day and they could like vouch for this story. And like, I just remember that like we drove back there and we had to like look at the lawn with the boss, and we like. It was awful. The worst feeling. Anyways, I didn't last long there at that job, but I'll never forget that. I felt terrible.
Dude, the mud tracks on the fresh lawn?
No, not even on the lawn. Yes, on the lawn, but on the sidewalk. Because that school, there's patches of grass kind of everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like, by the basketball court, and then you got to transfer to the middle of the cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
So it's everywhere. So the mud's just sticking to the tires, and the next thing you know, there's mud all over those nice, fresh, white sidewalks. Oh, it was bad. It was bad.
And you actually got motherfucked by him?
Oh
like
my
a
God.
proper...
Oh my God.
Oh, man.
And I remember that week before, like, we got the mower stuck, like, in some mud on our property, like a commercial property. Like, I don't know, what do you want us to do, man? It's raining. It's But it's moments like that help me with this company. A little bit like forgiveness. I'll try my best to. If you mess up, okay, but don't mess up twice or 3 times. Anyways, I'll never forget that day with that school. It was a tough go. Sorry, CPA. It all worked out though. You guys are all right.
Yeah.
It was crazy though.
Yeah. That's funny. That's good stuff.
Man, the NHL. Can we move into the NHL?
Go for it.
How much have we? What time are we at? We just started.
17 minutes.
17. See, that's not good.
No. What, your time perception?
Yeah.
Battered.
Like, did I tell you when Bill Burr came out? Like, he didn't do any material for 20 minutes, but it was way better than any of the material he did. Like, he came out and just made fun of Halifax for 20 minutes, and it was awesome. And then 20 minutes after, he goes, okay, I should probably get to some material now. And, like, his material, it was good. His material, like, he's the best comedian going, but his raw stuff was just unbelievable. But anyways, let's get to the agenda. The NHL has started. Jeff, people listening, the NHL means something to me that's maybe a little bit different than the average individual. The average individual is a fan of the team. You're a fan of Edmonton. Dudes is Toronto. You're a fan of Edmonton. There's a couple people fan of Chicago. Dudes is a fan of Toronto. Like that type of stuff. Me, I'm just a fan of hockey in the NHL. So it means 8 o'clock coming home from a long day, or even 9, whatever it may be, just sitting right there on that couch and flipping the boob tube on and just zoning out and just watching the beautiful game. That's what it means to me. It's an escape. Just like playing's an escape. When you're on the ice, nothing matters. But with that being said, the NHL kind of seems not. I shouldn't even say upside down. I guess all the teams that are supposed to be winning are winning. Other than Edmonton, that's a tough go for you. I'm sorry to hear that. What did they lose 8-2 the other day?
8-1 in the opening game. Yeah, lost to Philly last night. It's not pretty. Working out the kinks.
Yeah, that's tough. And my beloved Penguins.
Yeah.
It's tough to watch, man.
Have you watched how many games of theirs?
Well, the one in person.
Mm-hmm.
I watched that Detroit game the other day. I watched them play Chicago. Maybe a couple more. I'm not 100% sure. But like you said, how Edmonton's losing, that kind of makes me feel good because Edmonton is not supposed to be losing. So, the knock on Pittsburgh is that they're getting old. And who knows if that's true. It is true. Like I think the second oldest team in the NHL, oldest roster. But we'll see if that plays out. Weird first start to the NHL, though. Bedard hasn't necessarily shocked me. But he doesn't have anyone really to play with, unfortunately. And he's so unique. No one knows how to accept the pass from him. He has so many shots on net, and I think that's just because he doesn't want to pass to anyone, and you can't really blame him. Hall isn't what he used to be. Just Chicago. He's out there for 23 minutes a game, Bedard? He's on the whole power play for the whole 2 minutes. He starts everything. He can't win a face-off. I think they show Tom Bedard in the stands more than Connor. Like they'll show Tom's a star. Let's not fight it here. Tom is a star. He's the real deal. And he's a great father. He's watching his son. He's going to I think he might have been at every game so far. And every time he has an opportunity, Tom's at the edge of his seat, wishing the best for his son, as he should be. But, out of that duo, Connor and Tom, I think a lot of people are underestimating how great of a, father Tom is and a hockey dad.
Mm-hmm.
Tom's the real deal. I met him a couple times. But anyways, yeah, still too early to knock Bedard. There's been people messaging me saying bust.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
I'm not gonna say the names, but they know who they are. They're saying bust.
Out of an 82-game season?
Yeah.
And a 1,000-game career?
Don't get mad at me, Jeff. I'm not the one that said bust. I'm saying people are messaging me saying bust.
Yeah. Well, what do you think about what Hall said about he's doing too much media, too much interviews in between in the games, all that stuff? What do you think of all that jazz as a media guy yourself?
It's a pick your poison. It's we all know that the NHL has a personality thing that isn't the best. Like it's like talking to drywall, these guys. Bedard's okay. The NHL needs to sell their players a bit more, but at the same time, I kind of agree with Hall that it's too much. How many times is he going to say? How many times is he going to sit there and say, I feel good. I'm still trying to get my legs under me. I'm still trying to get comfortable with the NHL speed. Like he can say it as much as he wants, but it's not. The question shouldn't be what do I think about the media attention on Bedard. The question should be what do you think as the public as a whole that need to hear him say 20 times a day, I'm excited to be here.
But that's the name of the game. That's the name of the whole media game.
It is. I'm not arguing that. I'm arguing the fact that it says a lot about us as a humanity that we need to sit there and watch an 18-year-old say 20 times a day, I'm excited to be here. Can't wait to be, play in Pittsburgh. I agree. The NHL needs to sell their players more. Mm-hmm. The NHL needs to do a better job at marketing every aspect of the game. It's not...
Exactly. So they get a star in a top 6 market who's playing his first games, and we're going to complain a week in about media coverage?
No, they're doing it wrong, though. It's not... No, I'm not saying I have the answer of how to do it correctly. I'm not. NHL hockey guys are the hardest guys to market, especially in the rink. They're tough. It's a very hard thing to do, personality-wise. Basketball players, they'll tell you how they feel right off the cuff. Football players, they'll tell you how they feel right off the cuff.
Yeah.
It's easy to sell to ESPN in the American market because that's what American media wants. They want controversy. They want $1 million guys wearing chains, bragging. They want guys dancing in the end zone, dancing like they're 2 years, little kids. They want that. Hockey, you can only sell a little tight inside Matthews snipe top right. There's other things you can sell about it, but that's their biggest selling point is what they're doing on the ice because what they're saying with their mouths, They don't care.
That's the problem. It's like if you go to the MLB, NBA, and NFL, and you say you'll get Bedard's media coverage, every single player in those 3 leagues are saying, "Sign me up. When's my first interview?"
You think?
Yes, because they know that media creates money, and if their personal brand is big enough, then that's going to benefit them, and they understand that. So for it to actually happen to an NHL player, and they're trying to market him in America, trying to get this kicked up. The NHL's with ESPN now. ESPN's putting in an effort, and then you have Taylor Hall a week in crying during his interviews. It's just, I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense. It's like you give that opportunity to any other major 4 players or teams, and they're taking it. So I think that what you're saying right now is just excuses, to be honest, about, oh, well, you can't mark. It's just they're trying. But and then a week in, and you got Hall like
no,
trying to.
You're wrong. You're you think I'm disagreeing with you. I'm not disagreeing with you. They just need to market at a different angle with these players' personality, and I don't have the answer because it's the toughest. It's the toughest thing in sports to do, to market a hockey personality. Sean Avery was the closest thing that probably the last. Yeah.
Exactly. So like.
No. Yeah. Probably the last like real raw personality, controversial individual in the NHL. Not that I'm saying controversy sells, which it does.
Creates cash.
Does. But that's not the NHL's brand. The NHL is so worried about what other people think about it, unfortunately. It's so worried. It's scared. We all know what the hockey culture, what people say about it. I think it's a lot of bullshit. But the NHL is just scared. They're just scared out of their mind.
Exactly. So put them out of their comfort zone and market the shit out of Bedard like you do all your other big stars in America, and then suck it up.
You can only get it, but that's what. That's what I'm saying. How can you market him if all he's gonna say in front of a camera is, "Yeah, I'm happy to be here. It's great. It's great. My family's coming."
Well, we're only 2 weeks in here. We're only 2 weeks into a 20-year career.
But do you know what I'm saying? Like, what more do you want from the NHL in terms of marketing? What do you want? What more can they do to get their 16-year-old? What more do they?
Well, they might. I think they just need to get. I think they just need to get creative. Yeah. They might need to get creative with it, I suppose. But I think it's just excuse to say, "Oh, it hasn't happened before in the past, so it's too tough. Let's just give up on it after a week." It's just too much. You know what I mean? It's like you're trying to market this league. You're trying to make it. You're trying to get more fans. It's like. Too tough. He's got to do some interviews. This is a big star. Like, I'd say just keep the pedal to the metal. If you're asking me, it just, how often does a Bedard come by and go to an original 6 team that people semi care about in America? The Blackhawks, they're big. So it's just like, I don't know.
I always thought like teaming up, like I thought the NHL would always be a great piggyback league with, they're in Chicago. The Bulls are a cool team, historic team, really cool city. Just something like that. I don't know, like one of their bigger stars with the Bulls. I don't know, going shopping. Fashion's always kind of been a little thing in the NHL that, Matthews has always flirted with it a bit. Fashion's a very influential world, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Hockey guys like fashion.
Yeah.
I've always thought that was a great avenue for, as much as I love the suits, like, I'm not a huge fan of the guys showing up in sweatpants. I'm a really big suit guy, but suits, that's fashion. But if they could somehow, like, I don't know, link basketball players, fashion, hockey, a cool city like Chicago. That's why I always said, the NHL draft, how it's hard to make Columbus look cool. If Bedard went to Columbus, like, how's that cool and influential? I just don't see that.
So we're lucky he didn't go to Columbus.
Yeah,
or,
for sure,
you know what I mean?
Sure.
It's like, well, they did the same thing with Matthews. Like when Matthews first came in, I mean, it was a Canadian market, but they marketed the crap out of him. They put him on blast. They put him on a pedestal, and it's like he's made it out the other side, and now he's one of the more marketable guys in the NHL. So
but definitely not his first 2 years.
Yeah, no, but it'll take some time.
Yeah,
These are long careers, so I don't think I don't think people should be freaking out after 1 week just because Bedard's getting hounded.
We're talking about two different things. We're talking about marketability of a player and his actual play on the ice. You know what I mean? Obviously, if he's putting points up, that's going to help his brand. Yeah, but there's other things. Do I got a booger? Am I good?
No, I think you're good.
But there's just other things I think that will help him.
Yeah,
you got to take advantage of it. You're going to have way more advertising deals in Chicago than you would in Columbus, or maybe not Anaheim.
Well, Anaheim's not big for hockey.
Yeah,
It's
but
bigger in Chicago.
Chicago, you're set. You
Yeah.
got fast food restaurants, you got insurance, you got cars, you got
It's close
weather.
enough to Canada.
Like, there's so many companies there that will pay to have Bedard representing their brand.
Mm-hmm.
But no, like when he was here at the World Juniors, I was talking to a couple media members, and he was, from what I saw on the outs, or from what these media members said, like he wasn't a huge media guy, like he wasn't a huge fan of the whole. But to be fair with the whole media thing here, all everyone was asking him was about him. No one was asking him about the team. And that can get sick. People asking you about yourself for 2 weeks straight, I get that. I'd be a little upset too. Because then your teammates are looking at you like, why is everyone only asking you about you, not me? So I get that side of it. But I don't know. It's there's going to be some storylines with that kid because he has a chance to change the face of the NHL and
Exactly.
the brand of it for sure. He can make it cool.
I just think it's a bad look having Hall come out less than a week into the season and crying on behalf of his teammate about too much media coverage. For a star we've been talking about for 3 years.
Yeah.
I just think it's a bad look.
Hall's Hall, you got to let him be. The NHL has started, though. Man, we are going. It's a lot of fun. Hockey's going. If you ever have a bad day, you can always come home, sit down, chuck on the boob tube, and watch the guys put the puck in the net. It's a great life we live, Jeff. Don't ever sit there and complain. It's a great life. Jordan Boyd weekend. Very proud of our team. Very proud of the team that we assembled. Very proud of the training that we've put these people through. Maybe I'm a little bit actually more proud of how easy we made it for everyone. That's always been a big knock or a big worry of mine is hiring people, training them, and making sure they understand how to use the equipment.
Yeah.
As we grow, as anything grows, you have to make sure that quality control stays consistent. And with streaming, quality control is huge. It's everything. It's just like that movie The Founder with McDonald's when he starts this franchise off McDonald's and the next thing you know, 2 towns over, McDonald's is selling tacos. It's like the quality control is out the window. I don't want to be one day doing streams in Ontario and the next thing you know, some guy's streaming with no scoreboard, no commentary, and just a little camera. It's all about quality control with this company right now as we grow. Because we could be doing way more streams. We could, but at a lesser quality that I prefer. So to have the Jordan Boyd weekend, plus the AUS Men's Atlantic Baseball Championship, plus all the regular season commitments we had, I was very happy with the quality control. That's a feather in your cap. That's a feather in mine, dudes. That's a feather in the guys who are leading the charge for this company. Quality, say control. Control. You know what I mean? So it's good. And coming into this weekend, very busy weekend as well. But there's no Jordan Boyd. There's no Baseball Atlantic. It's Atlantics, excuse me. Just our regular season commitments, and I'm excited to see how this all plays out.
Yeah, I'm somewhere in the middle on it. I think it was a good weekend in terms of getting the streams going, but I still think I think there's still a little bit of hand holding going on, which is by design.
Sure.
I think I'm partially to blame for that too, and something I'm learning. Learning to trust and learning to teach maybe a little bit more rather than, like I said, setting it all up for the guys, because what we're realizing, it's tough to be in 4 places at once. So I think we're on the right path, but I think, there's still a little bit left to be desired.
100%. Do you mind if I just call dudes really quick?
Yeah, sure.
He was asking what time he's coming to.
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
Not much. Just got back from work here.
Attaboy. We're still on the podcast right now. I'm just giving you a buzz. So what's the plan here? You're coming here, or we're going right to Centennial in the Forum?
Well, that's what I was wondering, if you needed a drive or not. If not, I'll just meet you at one of the rinks.
Well, what time do you think you'll be in the city?
I'll probably leave here around 1:45 and be there around 2:15. So I can probably just meet you at Centennial.
Yeah, but here's what I'm thinking. Centennial is potentially going to be like an hour-long setup.
Okay.
So I'm thinking let's just go right to the Forum, and then right after the Forum go to Centennial. You know what I mean? Because we could be at Centennial for potentially an hour and a half. Who knows? Setting that wire.
Okay, so we still need Sean to meet us at the Forum, though, eh?
Yeah, exactly. So why don't you just come to the studio? We'll chill. We'll go over the equipment for the weekend, and then we'll all go to the Forum together, meet Sean, because that'll only be 20, 30 minutes if that, and then we'll all go to Centennial, set the wire up, call it a day.
Okay, cool. That works for me.
Okay, sounds good. So just text me, I guess, when you're leaving.
All right, cool.
Okay, drive safe.
Drive safe.
Little insight into the day-to-day workings of the live streaming right now.
Oh, I know. That's what we're trying to do. You know,
Yeah.
it's, what is it? Behind the button, I guess you could call that. Just a
Yeah.
little snippet of behind the button.
Behind the button last weekend would have been interesting. That didn't even pop into my mind.
I know,
right
but then
now.
it's like you gotta it wouldn't have worked because we would have needed like 4 camera guys.
Yeah, it's
we
true.
would have needed someone at the BMO rink. We would have needed someone with me. We would have needed someone with dudes. So that's kind of where
That is true.
The bigger picture comes into play. That's that's a couple years away, but for now, one behind the button camera. Excuse me. One behind the button camera is good enough for me right now. We'll figure it out. We're gonna be fine.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna be just fine. Just fine. How much time are we at?
34 minutes.
I want to give a shout out to Tarek's Cafe up here in Spryfield, Herring Cove Road. If you know me, you know that Lebanese and Greek food are my 2 favorite cuisines. And when I found out that Tarek's Cafe 2 was coming to Spryfield, I got very excited. As a young boy growing up in Halifax, practicing at the Forum and Civic, a post-lunch, maybe a pre-game meal was always Tarek's Cafe right there off Windsor Street. Windsor Street, I believe it's on, right by the Forum there. They give you the free soup. The customer service, top-notch. They make you pay cash, which at the time, when I found out, wasn't overly ideal, but you surrender to it because the food is that good. So you don't mind going to the ATM to take out $20 to get a full, half and half combination with a Coke. Childhood memories is what I'm getting at. So sitting here as an adult and I find out that Tarek's is coming up the road, joy came into my body. Just
Okay.
pure joy.
Yeah.
Because knowing in the winter, going back full circle to what we were talking about at the beginning of the podcast, when you come home at 8, 9 o'clock, sometimes you aren't able to sneak in a little dinner because you're maybe miking someone up at 6 o'clock to 7, and then you got to go home, and then you're stuck in traffic, and yada yada. And you're just not able to get that full, nutritious meal in. They're not even paying me for this, by the way, for this ad. This isn't even an ad.
No
This is
free ads.
just how I feel. So just to know the Tarek's is 2 minutes away from me and I'm able to go down and have a hearty, healthy, flavorful meal with great customer service. Again, so Tarek, it's his grandchildren who are working there now. Tarek was the OG and then had a son, but now his son's kid, you get what I'm saying. It's the grandkids are over there, Mo and Mo. And they represent the High Button Sport brand over there. I gave them a couple hats, and every time I walk in, they're wearing High Button Sports hats with their Tarek t-shirts. And that means the world to me, because knowing in Halifax, growing up as a young boy, I used to go to Tarek's all the time and eat their nutritious food. And now I walk in there, like I said, as a man, and I see the High Button Sports brand being represented in Tarek's too. Get a little tingle, a little emotional.
A little tingle,
A
eh?
little emotional, little sense of gratitude. I don't know what word I'm looking for, but you know what I mean. It's a nice feeling. I sit in there, I have conversations with them. They ask about me, I ask about them, and we support each other. Sometimes I want an extra grape leaf. I don't ask for it, but they put it in there. I go, hey Mo, I'll get 4 grape leaves. He goes, okay, Justin, no problem. And when I come home and I open the box, there's 6 grape leaves in there. He only charges me for 4.
Wow.
Sometimes I go and I say, yeah, just make sure you have a couple garlic sauces in there. And he goes, okay, no problem, Justin. I go home, there's 5 garlic sauces in there.
Oh my goodness.
So there's little things that go above and beyond money, and that's called a relationship. If you can build relationships with people and show that you care about your community will care about you. So this is a little shout out to anyone that's listening that maybe has a corner store, maybe that isn't Irving or Circle K, or just a little no-name corner store. This is a calling to anyone out there that has maybe a little guy on the side of the road selling wood, maybe selling lobster, maybe selling a little fish. That hustler, that guy that's trying to make a buck. You're good to your community will be good to you. I could go into Tarek's 2 Cafe. I could go into Tarek's Cafe. Tarek's 2 Cafe? I could go into Tarek's Cafe 2 right now with no money and say, look, hey, do you mind if I just get 2 combination, 2 half and half chicken beef right now? I'll be back next week and I'll pay you. Mo and Mo would go, yeah, no problem,
Really?
Justin, you're good. Oh, 100%. 100%. But that's because I'm loyal. When they give me my change back, I'm always tipping a 5. I'm always tipping a couple toonies. You have to be able to give back for your community to give to you. And it's a great feeling. You're not going to get that feeling, no offense to Irving and Shell. What are the others? Gas station. You know, like these Petrocan. You're just, even Tim's, you're not, you know, you're not going to get that sense of, you know, hey Billy, how's the kids? How are you? That gentrification? No. What is it when you, like, a community gets taken over by big brands?
Yeah, gentrification.
Gentrification.
Yeah.
Like, I hate that stuff. That's why I really like Spryfield here. It's a sense of community. Growing up in the suburbs, I don't know. You just didn't have that sense of, hey, Justin, how are you? How's hockey going? It was just 475. Anything else? Okay. Thanks, bye. You know, there's no community feel here in Spryfield. There's that sense of community still. It's not being run over yet.
Yeah.
And I like that at Tarek's 2 Cafe. I might be messing the name up. Mo and Mo, they speak to the people. Every time someone new walks in there, I see it. They treat everyone the same. How are you? What can I get you? Do you want a free bowl of soup? Who's going to say no to a free bowl of soup in the middle of the winter, you know? But just really happy about that relationship. Be good to your community will be good to you. Ask about people. Show interest in other people. Treat people how you want to be treated. I love when people ask me about High Button Sports. I love when people ask me about how my beer league's going. I love when people ask me about whatever the latest thing going on in my life. It's the best when people remember it. It feels so good. So why wouldn't I do that to the people that I see on a day-to-day basis? When I go into Tarek's, hey Mo, you said last time you were here you were in PEI. How was your PEI trip? Justin, it was unbelievable. It was such a good trip. We decided to take the ferry over instead of the bridge. You know, I just little stories like that, they're awesome. So little advice, little nugget for you. Care about the people in your community how you want to be cared about, if that makes sense. That's it. I wish I brought a water over, but you want a water?
I'm all right. This coffee's nice though.
Yeah, I'm not going to reach. You
want me to go grab one?
No, if I have one, I'm gonna have to pee. I don't want to. David Beckham documentary. David Beckham's an OG.
Yeah.
Do you know much about soccer or football?
Pitch? A little bit about it now. Not so much back when Beckham played, though. Early 2000s.
Like Beckham? Yeah, that guy's like a pioneer.
Did you ever play soccer growing up? Or were you just hockey?
No, I did play soccer. I got, I don't want to say kicked off my team, but I wasn't allowed back one year.
You got some absolute ringer stories here today. People getting a feeling for the belly experience. Because, what'd you do? Come on.
Just physical. Just like
physical.
Way too physical.
Really?
Oh yeah. Like what they call it? Slide tackle.
Slide tackle.
You're not going for the ball. You're going right for the feet.
Yeah.
You're just too aggressive. I think that's why I excelled at lacrosse. I like the physicality. But hockey, I was always a bit of a pussy in the corner, so I don't get that.
Yeah, I've heard that.
You didn't hear that. Yeah, from dudes. But I put up more points than him, so I don't care. Lacrosse I excelled at in terms of the physicality aspect. Soccer I excelled at the physicality aspect because there was none, so all the other kids were terrified too. But
eyes on the ankles.
Hockey, for some reason, growing up, I don't know, I had no muscle. I was just a skeleton, and you're just lanky. I had no core. Get hit, I'd fall over. Hockey's just a different beast.
Balance? Was it balance? Like, because you were a good skater, though, weren't you?
Yeah, I was okay. I think my hockey IQ was probably the best thing I
Gotcha.
had. But, you know, I was never the player that made other players better. I had to be with good players to be good. Like, I'm not the best beer league player because I don't know who to play with, how to play. You know, I'm like that kind of guy.
I met your dad the other day. What was he like as a player? Out of curiosity, because he I learned that he played higher level in the Q and stuff.
He played for Gat. No, he was. He still is. He was built like a fridge. He's just a solid defenseman. I wish I played D sometimes. But yeah, he was just a solid stay-at-home defenseman. Played for Gatineau back in the day. Played with Luc Robitaille.
Oh yeah.
Didn't have that many games played, just like me in the queue. It's funny how like that works.
Yeah.
But yeah, just a solid stay-at-home defenseman, smart hockey player.
Intimidating presence.
I don't know. Like, I don't know if he was intimidating. Like,
Yeah.
he's big. He's built like a fridge, but he's also like a guy who, you know, whenever I played with him growing up, he wasn't like a huge physical guy. He was just always the guy that just made that one nice chip over two guys' sticks and got it to the winger. You know, like he was just that smooth skating, one easy nice pass, puck out of the defensive zone, we're gone.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just that kind of guy. What was I talking about? David Beckham, yeah. But the guy's like he's kind of a pioneer. Like, soccer players weren't really getting paid for branding deals back in the 80s or late 80s, early 90s with like Manchester United. There wasn't really like a soccer, I guess there is soccer superstars back then, of course, but he was the first guy to kind of bring it to brands.
Yeah.
At least in London. I don't like my football IQ, it's not all there.
He's British, right? I mean,
Yeah, he's from London.
Yeah, so that makes a big difference. Like a big British, clean cut looking guy.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But really cool how he built the brand basically from himself. Like, obviously he was really good at soccer. He started dating that girl from the Spice Girls, Posh, Sporty Spice.
Mm-hmm.
Sporty Spice.
No, there's no way.
That's her name.
No,
What was her name?
Sporty Spice.
I don't know her real name. Her name's Posh or Victoria Beckham. That's what it. No, yeah, Victoria Beckham.
Okay.
And he got like a lot of criticism for that because everyone's like, "Oh, you're too focused on the celebrity side of your life, and the soccer side of your life." And he was traveling the world playing for Manchester United, and everyone was booing him everywhere he went because he played for the World Cup and took like a stupid penalty, and they ended up losing.
Yes, I remember
that. And the
that.
guy who he took the penalty against admitted that he flopped later and was like, "You guys shouldn't be mad at David Beckham. I flopped. I shouldn't have done it. I apologize." But everyone still was all over him. And he just, at one point, he didn't care. He was just like, if you're going to hate me, he kind of gave into the bad boy image and just kind of rolled with it. And then eventually it just ended up paying off. Everyone back in London loved him, like in England, that just like he became the captain of the World Cup soccer team. Everyone loved him again, had a couple kids, became a dad, became a family man, still was able to brand himself, and was just a gangster back then. Just kind of figured it out when no one else was leading the charge in terms of marketing yourself as a soccer player. No one really did that. It was just soccer. And he was going, no, I'm going to do cologne. No, I'm going to do fashion. No, I'm going to do wine. No, I'm going to do this. And it was kind of cool how we just, and then sorry, you go.
I was just going to say, and on the pitch too. I remember the first things, like I would have been like 3-4 around that time when he was a real big star. And I just remember Bend It Like Beckham. That was the only, I just remember hearing that. Bend It Like Beckham, like even on the, on the pitch, off the pitch, the guy just figured it out. Like
he knew how to bend the ball.
There was this thing, bend it like Beckham. Yeah. I remember my brother saying that over and over.
Yeah, bend it like Beckham.
Yeah.
And like he went to the States and, oh man, so we went to the States to play for the LA Galaxy. It was for $250 million, which is, and he got his own franchise, which is now Miami. Like he signed a deal, $250 million for X amount of years, but he got a piece of the league, so it was like 2% of the profits of the whole league. So if, even on away teams too. So like if someone bought a bag of popcorn at a game in Seattle, he got 2% of it, something like that. And he got his own franchise, which is Miami now.
Messi's the team. Messi's on Inter Miami.
So it's kind of full circle. How he got Messi to come, and he was the first big name to go play in the MLS for LA Galaxy. So it was kind of full circle at the. Maybe I shouldn't say because maybe people are going to watch, but. I guess it's a known thing that Messi's in Miami. What the fuck? What am I saying?
Yeah.
Just a really cool behind the scenes look at his life. And I'm not a huge fan of those like celebrity. Look at me. Look how hard my life is.
Yeah, it's like a bit of a glazing.
I'm so famous. Yeah. It wasn't like that. It was the London or England press. They killed Princess Diana. Like, didn't the media chase her, and then she got in a car accident in Paris? It was around that time frame of where he was a huge celebrity, and that kind of scared him and the family about living in that part of the world. So, because he actually ended up playing for Paris too, David Beckham. Anyways, ended up moving to LA for a shitload of money. Got a percentage of the league. Got his own franchise years later, and just battled through a bunch of adversity. Soccer's a whole.
Oh, man.
You think fans over here love hockey? It's
a lifestyle.
There's people over there that like don't work. Like there's people over there that just wake up every day and like they'll worship Manchester United and like sell T-shirts outside the stadium for their life and like get their kids to help them sell T-shirts. Like it's a religion. Sorry, it's kind of psychopathic, crazy stuff.
You gotta respect
like there's
it, man.
bars over there that other people aren't allowed in because they're not a Manchester United fan, they're a Manchester City fan.
Yeah.
So it's like this bar is only for Manchester United people. And like when David Beckham took that penalty at the World Cup, they got a dummy and like put him on a noose and like hung him outside the bar like he was a dead man.
Yeah.
And you're just like, dude, it's sports, but it's a really cool documentary. It's kind of crazy what he had to go through. And he's a normal guy. Like he's not, at least from what I saw. I mean, maybe he isn't, but at least he fooled me on the TV. On Netflix, he sounds normal. His kids are normal, which is really odd. Celebrities' kids are usually crazy, but his kids are there. They seem pretty cool. His wife's cool. He says all day he just cooks. That's what you should do as a retired guy. You just cook all day.
That's what you'll be doing. Burritos, baby.
Burritos, steak, oxtail. Maybe marinate
Oxtail.
some octopus.
When did you have that stuff?
When did I have it?
Bachelor party?
No, that's the next topic. Don't jump, Jeff. No, I had it in, where did I have it? I think it was Montreal last year, somewhere at a restaurant.
When we almost saw the guy choke on the thing.
No, that was a different time. That was nuts.
That was nuts.
Sad.
The High Button boys almost saw someone pass away.
Yeah, the guy almost died. If there wasn't like someone that knew
CPR,
that guy would have died. He would have choked to death.
Yeah.
That was terrifying. I'll never forget that.
No, me neither.
I don't want to talk about that.
Come on.
That's no. So yeah, David Beckham Netflix documentary. If you have time, watch it. I know everyone's busy, but if you have a minute, just check it out. I thought it was kind of cool. All good? Anyone?
Yeah.
Or your phone? You got an email?
Couple of things.
For work?
Yeah.
How much time are we at?
51.
Okay, well, I'll end it on the bachelor party.
Yeah. I mean, it's nothing urgent. So.
The bachelor party?
No, the text.
Oh, it was a text or an email?
It was text. Yeah.
Bachelor party. Phoenix, Arizona, 2024.
Locked
April.
in?
It's locked in for me, but it's not about me. It's about my buddies. So this is why, I've been on bachelor parties, but none outside of Canada. This is in Arizona. Wednesday to Sunday. I'm not going to give the dates, but it's up there. Planning it, totally different level. Spreadsheets, Airbnb links, communication, schedules. Actually, I'm going to I guess if I give who Arizona's playing, that kind of gives away the dates in April. Who cares? I don't give a fuck. They're playing Edmonton.
Are they?
There, yeah.
Lucky
so
bastard.
it'll be cool to see. McDavid in the size of a rink of like
yeah,
Centennial,
yeah, legit. Yeah.
So that baseball, D-backs are playing, and then we're also going to go to a couple like ASU baseball games as well. And if the Suns make the NBA playoffs, we'll be able to sneak in, see a couple games there too. Liam O'Brien is the connect. He knows what we should be doing, what we shouldn't be doing, where to stay. It's a lot of fun in our WhatsApp group chat. There's about 10 of us right now, and we're all communicating. I don't want anyone listening to worry. We're fine. If you've ever been to Arizona and you have done some things there, please let me know on what's the best way to tell me things. probably Instagram DM on the High Button if you've ever been to Arizona and you've done some fun things other than the obvious like Golf Town. And one thing actually we're trying to figure out is like some good affordable golf courses to go to up there. So just as if anyone's done anything like that, let me know. I don't know if there's anything else other than that I can keep you updated on, but I will keep this as a part of the podcast at the very end. Just keep people updated on the scheduling of the bachelor party because I want.
You're only gonna do it once, right?
Yeah, I just want the excitement to be passed through this microphone into other people's ears because it is what it is.
How come you chose Arizona?
Well, it's funny. I didn't even really choose it. So my buddy, I'm not going to say his name, Alec, or I messed that up big time.
That you had to have done that on purpose.
I did a little.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not going to say his last name, but we were going to go to Arizona.
Yeah.
And it got canceled because of the pandemic. So they had this trip planned out. It looked awesome on paper. So I didn't make him a promise, but I just said, look, when I do mine, we'll just go to Arizona and we could, I think for his bachelor, we went to Chester, we went fishing, which was fun, but it wasn't Arizona. So, there was a part of me that was like, look, man, don't worry, we'll get to Arizona one day. So that was kind of
nice.
That's kind of where Arizona came into play. There was a couple other locations we thought about because Arizona, it's 2 flights. We got to go to Toronto or Montreal, then Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some nice flights over to Europe right now, just direct from Halifax. So which we did think about. Is Arizona's expensive too? Like there's a couple places in Europe we could have gone.
That American dollar, man.
I know, man. It's up there.
It's brutal.
But I don't know. There's something about it. I've never been to like Middle America.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to get there. I hear it's a great happening spot. When Liam O'Brien came over, he lives in the city, but he had nothing but great things to say about the town. So I believed him. And the research that I've done, isn't going to lead me to not believe that it's a really cool town. So good food, good sports, good weather.
There's 10 people going?
There's 10 people in the group, and I think about 7 have confirmed. So yeah, we're looking for 3 more confirmations, and then the boys are off to the races. But this isn't until April, so don't even worry about it. I'm not worried about it. You shouldn't be worried about it. We are going to be fine. How much time are we at right now?
We're at 56 now.
So I think I'm just gonna. I'll end it. Is there anything actually you want to say? You want to shout out your mom's book or anything?
No, all good there.
You sure?
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to shout out? You want to say to anything? Say to anyone?
No, go Oilers. We're winning the cup this year. I still believe.
Didn't they lose though?
It's early. It's like Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's last cup.
But all right. Everyone listening, thank you once again for the support. It's awesome. We love going out in public into the rinks and talking to people about what they take from this company. It's the best feeling in the world. I don't think you could ever buy that feeling. So thank you. Appreciate it. If you see us in the rink, don't be shy. Come up, say hi. We'll chat. And yeah, it's Friday too. So enjoy your weekend. Have fun. Work hard. Put your feet up. Everyone works hard. I know all of our listeners do. So just try to enjoy this weekend, enjoy the fall weather, and the next thing you know, we're going to be in a pile of snow. So get it in while you can. All right, we're out. Peace.